Hi, I'm Andrea Marcos. I'm a linocut printmaker and educator, and today I'm here to show you how to make potato stamps. Here are some of the things that you're going to need. Potatoes. Make sure to get a big bag of them if you can. Any potatoes will do. You'll need a sharp knife or an X-Acto knife, anything like that. We'll talk a little bit more about safety precautions around knives in a second. You're also going to need, you don't need this, but cookie cutters. We'll talk about this trick, but if you have any cookie cutters, go get them. You'll want some paint or ink. I'm laying out some printmaking ink right there. You'll also want to go grab some paper to print on. I'll talk a little bit about how to make a postcard too, out of the things that you make, the stamps that you make. So grab some scissors and a pen or pencil and some stamps. Alright, so first thing is to cut your potato in half. And then you're going to draw on the design that you want to make your stamp. So I'm here in this example doing a heart. You're going to grab your knife and you're going to use the knife to cut down. I'm using an X-Acto knife in this case. You're going to cut down just directly straight into the potato around your design. Here's a good time to mention, maybe have someone carve this part who has some experience using a sharp knife before. Perhaps designing it together, designing your stamp and drawing on the potato can be a good time to get everyone's hands on that potato at this point, but leave the carving for someone who's got a little bit more experience. So once you go down, you're going to take out the background. So here I'm cutting out the background. I've cut around some of the potato around the side of it, and I'm cutting into where to meet those cuts that I've made down into the potato to take out the background. So then the only thing left raised up is the design that I want, in this case that heart. All right, so I'm going to show you, before we move on to the next step, one other way to make your design. So I'm cutting the potato in half, and then I'm going to grab a cookie cutter. I don't have a good shaped cookie cutter. I could only find one at my house, but I'll show you using this cookie cutter just as an example. So you take the one you want, and you're going to stick the cookie cutter into your halved potato like this. Just be careful. Cookie cutters can be kind of dull a little bit, and potatoes can be kind of hard, so take your time. And then once you have it in there, you're going to grab your knife, and then you're going to do the same thing we did on the other one. You're going to cut out the background. So I'm going to go in, I don't know, like 1/2 inch or something, 3/4 of an inch, and just cut out that back part. Your knife will meet the cookie cutter, so that's just acting like a guardrail kind of, that you don't cut too far. And you can just take that background part out. And then you get a really clean line, and then you just carefully wiggle out that cookie cutter from your potato, and there is your stamp. All right, it is time to move on. So we've made our stamps. Now we're going to lay out some paints. I'm just going to use a plate and put this washable paint in it. You can mix colors. You can use whatever colors you want. You can use different kinds of paints. Experiment with what you find around the house. Now when you're ready, just grab your stamp and dip it in the paint. You might want to move the paint around a little bit so it doesn't all glob up in one spot like you see how it's happening for me right now. But there's also no wrong way to do it. So here you can grab your paper, get your stamp ready, all inked up, ready to go, and just stamp it right onto the paper. Might wiggle around a little bit, but that's okay. It's part of what homemade stamps are so great. No one stamp will be like the other. And just have at it. You can make cute designs and patterns with your stamps. Alright, I'm going to show you one other inking technique. This is using printmaking supplies if you happen to have them. If not, that's okay. The other way that we showed works great too. This is block printing ink from Speedball. In front of you, you can see I have this piece of glass. It's just glass from an old picture frame. I'm going to put some of the ink out on that piece of glass, and then I'm taking a roller and I'm just going to roll out that ink. This is just going to make it, I'm going to roll this onto the potato. So this is just like a little bit of a more evenly and controlled way to apply ink to your stamp. So I've made a little smiley face stamp. I used chopsticks to like take the eye part out and the knife to do the smile. And I'm just going to roll on the ink. So now I'm going to grab my paper and go ahead and just press firmly. And there you have it. So this is also an example. You could either carve out your background like we did for the heart and the star, or you can carve out the design like I did for the smiley face. So here I'm just showing you on the other stamps, inking that heart. And here I'm just even like putting it right into the ink that I rolled out on that glass frame. Voila. Okay, let's talk about postcards. We're in a wild moment right now where a lot of us are staying home and not able to connect with people that we love or people who are far away. And postcards are one great way that we can make those connections. So here I took a little bit of a thicker piece of paper and I'm making a line, some lines for the address part of the postcard, saving a space to put the stamp on the top right, and some space for me to eventually write a message. When I'm finished with this, I'm going to flip the card over and then I'm going to decorate the card with the stamps that we just made today. And when I'm all done making it, I'm going to let it dry and then I'm going to write a cute message on there and throw on a stamp and put that in the mail.